Okay, so suppose 3 coins are tossed and a number of heads is recorded. So find the sample space S, find the probability space, and let A be the event that at least one head appears, and let B be the event that all tails appear. Okay, find the probability of A and find the probability of B. Okay, so I recall na to itong kaganina nga definition. No? Also, ako, kung mingon tag probability, pasabot ka ni siya nga value. When you say the probability of A is 0.5. So, kato nga mga value are now the probabilities of that event. 0.25 is the probability of that point side. Pwede sa siya matawag na point. Okay, so here in the problem, let us find the probability of the event A and the probability of the event B. But first, let us find the sample space because maman siya ang uh, assign sa mga value no, sa kada point sa ato ang sample set kay sample space. Kay dapat manggod na equivalent sa 1. So, unsa man atong mga sample spaces ani? So, note that we recorded the number of heads. So, we toss 3 coins tapos i-record na to ang number of heads. So, the sample space could be sa man, since nag-toss mo tag 3 coins, we have head, 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 we have head, head, tail, we have head, tail, head, we have head, tail, tail. So, we have your tail, head, tail, head, tail, we have tail, tail, head, and we have tail, tail, tail. So we have 8 elements on our sample set. Okay? Now, muna siya tanan karon. Find the probability space. So find the probability space pasabot unsa nga mga value ang atong mahatag ani nila. So, since we have 8 elements, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, sa ato ba ang kada isa ani nila has the probability of 1 over 8. Okay? So, each of this event or each of this point has the probability of occurring 1 of 1 over 8. No? So, muna siya. So, kada event is now 1 over 8. Now, let A be the event that at least one head appears. At least one head. So, pwede tulo ka head. Diba? Kaya at least one head man. So, ang sabi ni nga mga events si A. A could be head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, tail, T, head, head, and T, H, T, 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 H. Okay? So, muna siya ang katong mga event wherein at least one head appear. So, ato i-recheck si head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, 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 head, head, tail, head, tail, 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 head. So, kanay, di man gid niya, kaya wala mag-head niya appear ani. So, wag na siya labot. So, here we have all of this. Okay? So, it says here, mo daw ni siya ang probability na ang isa ka head nag-appear. So, since naman ni siya ay 1/8, no? 1/8 man ang kada isa ani niya. And then, i-plus raman daw, no? Para makuha na to ang event, no? Ang probability sa event A. So, this is basically just A is the probability of A is just basically 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 or could be, or na siya, pila man ikabok? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1/8 times 7, which is 7, 8. So that is our probability of A. Now the probability of B, but first let us find ang atong B. The event that all heads appear or all tail appear. So, could be head, 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 and tail, tail, tail. Again, this is 1/8 man ni sila isa-isa. So, this is 1/8. So, the probability of B is now equivalent to 1/8 plus 1/8, which is 2/8. Okay. Or 1/4. So that is now our answer. So that is now, this is now our probability of A, and this is our probability of B. Okay. So if you have further question, now don't hesitate to ask me. Okay. So kung magtanaw mo sa book, actually ani lahi iyang solution, pero the same rag answer. But it doesn't really matter. Basta the same book answer, and also the concept are the same raman. I think ang approach sa book is that iya lang siyang gipadali. Okay? So, I think ang approach sa libro is like, gi-count niya og pila ang possible na head mo appear. So, unsa man ang mga possible head na mo appear, it could be that naay isa ka head, naay duha ka head, ug naay tulo ka head mo appear. Sa set A ni siya ha, and sa event A. So, iyang gitanaw diri og pila to ka book ang event nga naay isa ka head. Tapos, pila to ka event ang naay isa ka head. We have this one and HHT, HTH, HTT, THH, ganun siya. So, actually, there are two events nga kasara ni appear ang head. So, it's 2 times 1/8. Tapos, ki-plus niya sa pila to ka event, ang duha ka head ang ni-appear. So, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, yung actually, gigana niya pag-solve. Okay. Pero I think my example is a lot clearer sa sabdon. Okay, now let's go to the term equiprobable spaces. Okay, a finite probability space S where each sample point has the same probability. Okay, so tawagan na niya is equiprobable. Okay? So, atong example tanan dira no kani, this is an example of equiparable because each element on the sample space has the same probability. So pareha man sila tanan 1/8. Okay. So this is the formula no para madali na to makitaan ang probabilities sa ka-event. If you have a number of elements in A divided by the number of elements in S, so basically katong nga number i-divide lang to niya, it is murag shortcut para mas dali ra ninyo makita ng probability of A. Okay, so pwede sad na number of outcomes favorable to A and a total possible outcomes. Divide lang na siya, and that is your P of A. Again, this is only applicable for equiparable spaces. Since this example is an equiparable spaces, itry na to siya og tanaw, no? So, the number of elements in A. Pila man ang number of elements in A na to? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, we have here 7. So, P of A is equals to 7. And then our P of S P, N day, sorry. This is supposed to be N. Okay, number of element man day. So this is N of A and N of S. RS is 8. So, ato doon na silang i-divide, we have 7, 8. So, it is basically the same with RP of A. Diba? So, sakto. Now, let's try the other one, the number of outcomes favorable of A, the number of possible outcomes. The same lagi hapon. So, the number of outcomes favorable to A is 7. Tapos, a total number of outcomes is 8. So, again, 7 over 8. So, this one is, para di na mo mag-compute ani, no? So, dali na lang siya. Kung pareha ra tanan og probability ang kada element sa inyong sample space. Okay, so now let's proceed with an example. Example, let A card be selected from an ordinary deck of 52 playing cards. Let A, the card is a spade. Let B, the card is a face card. So compute the probability of P of A, P of B, and the intersection of P of A and B. Okay. So, nag-select ako card from the ordinary playing card. Tapos, unsa may probability nga makakuha ka og first na event is makakuha kag spade. Ang second na event is kung makakuha kag face card. Tapos, ipa-compute ka sa probability nga makakuha kag face card o makakuha ka og spade na card. O ang probability nga spade o face card ang imuhang makuha. Okay. So, what is your sample space? So, mo gini pinakauna ninyong i-consider unsa tong inyuhang sample space. Your sample space, of course, is your unsa man entire deck of cards. So, your N of S is 52. So, the element of your sample space is unsa man to? 1 of hearts, 2 of hearts, sunod 1 of spade, 2 of spade, sana na akong spade diha, and so on. And then we have here 1 of diamond, 2 of diamond, and so on. 1 of clubs, and then 2 of clubs, and so on. So, muna siya ang inyuhang sample space. Now, we have 52. Since each of these element has equal chances of being picked, no? Pareha raman sila chance tanan nga mag-pick sila. So, each of these element has the same. This is an example of an equiparable space. These have the same, all of them has the same probability. Okay, so if you're wondering, ma'am, unsa to nga mga event ang dili equiparable? So, katong mga event ang dili equiparable are those event na medyo na bias, no? Like for example, kung nakay set of cards, nakay set of cards lagi, and then in your cards you have 2 ka 1 of hearts, no? So sa ato pa, mas dako ang chance nga makakuha ka og 1 of hearts kay duha gug ka book sila ka book sa imong deck. So in that case, di ni siya equiparable. Okay, kay mas dako ang chances na makakuha kag 1 of hearts compared sa uban. No? Another example is that you have an uneven coin, no? So for example, you have a coin, tapos ang isa ka coin is, ang isa ka side sa coin is mas bugat kaysa sa isa ka side. So, in that case, di ba, kung may toss kag coin, 50-50 man na. 50% na ma-head, 50% na ma-tail. However, if, for example, the other side is much heavier than the other side, so for like, may tag, mas 70% ning isang chance ka mo mooy makuha kaysa sa isa, meaning this is not equiparable anymore. kay lain-lain naman sila og probability. So muna siya. But since kaning atong example here, this is equiparable because kada isa sa ilaha is equivalent ang chances na makuha. Wala tay bias nakita as well as a problem, wa siya naghisgot og bias. Okay? So these are all your elements sa inyong sample spaces. Now the card is a spade. So pila ka buok kaha sa kaning elements ato ang A. So the element of our event A is just katong spades, no? One. Ansa naman ni, eh? You have here one of spades, two of spades, hangtod sa king of spades. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so and your B is the face card, diba? So unsa man ni sila? The Jack of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts, the King of Hearts. Next is the Jack of Spades, and so on hangtod sa the King of Spades. And then we have here the Jack of Diamonds, Queen of Diamonds, and then the King of Diamond, and also Jack of Clubs, and King of Clubs, and Queen of Clubs, and then Queen of kompleto na lang nako. Okay, so that is your set B, and this is your set. Okay, excuse me. And this is your set A. Okay. Now let's compute the probability of P of A and P of B. Again, these are equiparable spaces. So, pwede ra nato to gamiton tong formula nga akong gi-introduce ganina. So, here we have our set A. Pila ka bulk elements atong set A? We have, pila man? Ay, alas mo dayon, ano? O, alas 1, naging 1. Alas man ning 1. We have 13. Diba? 13. So A has, our N of A is 13. Our N of S is pila? 52. So to find the probability of A, kung gamiton nato itong formula, is equivalent to N of A over N of S, which is 13 over 52. So that is our probability of A, which is equivalent to 1/4. Now, probability of B. Pila ka ani kabok ang ato ang B. So, the number of elements in our B is equivalent to 12, diba? So, we have 12, and our N of S is 52. So, we have the probability of B is equals to N of B over N of S, which is 12 over 52, which is 13, 3 over 13. Okay, so that is a probability of both. Kadali lang wait lang. Okay, so dili matangtang ang mga drawing class. Okay, so pasensya ni siya matangtang. So ako na lang siyang i-highlight para makita, no? So here our probability of A is 1/4, and our probability of B is 13. Now let's find the probability that the intersection sa duha. Unsa man? Unsa kani nga mga event? So this event means na it is a spade and it is a face card. So tulura. So Jack of spade, Queen of spade, and King of spade. So basically it is, so P of A B is equivalent to n of union of A and B, intersection over n of S, which is 3 over 50 to, diba? So, pila man ni? So, kamo na compute ana sa calculator. Basically, nga mayroon siya og probability. So, di naman ako ni ma-lowest, no? Ako pang ma-factor into its lowest term. So, pwede na acceptable na ning answer. Okay. So, um, that is our example. Okay, so nansira na nato tanan. We got the probability of A, which is 1/4, the probability of B, which is 3 over 13. The probability of the intersection of both event is 3 over 52. And the element of our set A, nakuha na to, and the element of our set B, and our sample space. Okay. So, hopefully, gets, no? And if you have further question, please don't hesitate to contact me, ask me through Messenger. Okay, so I always do my best to answer all of your questions. Okay, so these are the additional theorems on finite probability spaces. The probability function P defined on the class of all event in a finite probability space has the following properties. So your probability of an event should not be less than or greater than 1. So it should not be less than 0 and it should not be greater than 1. Another is that the probability of your entire sample space should be, if added, should be equivalent to 1. Okay, now if the event A and B are mutually exclusive, then the union of the union of these two events, say A and B, is just equivalent to the probability of, the probability of the union of these two events is just equivalent to simply adding the probability of A and the probability of B. So what do you mean by mutually exclusive? Meaning, dili apektado ang event A sa unsay mahitabo kang event B, no? So, like for example, you have kanang event wherein wala nagsalig or walay walay event si B nga pwede makuha ni event A. So, para to example na to before katong deck of cards. So, our event A are all spades, no? Tapos our event B are those face card. Now, those two events are not mutually exclusive because ang atong face card pwede man nga naay spades. So, di gid sila as in separated na event, no? So, when you say it's mutually exclusive, there are separated events wherein union na to, sila i-add lang na to ang iyang probability sa kada isa. Okay, let A be any event, and then of course the complement of that event is minus ng nimog 1. So, mo na to ang probability sa PCAS. So, diba? So, for example, you have here you have a probability of you have here 75% of passing. So, of course, the probability of failing is 25%. Okay, 75% man ang imuhang probability nga makapasar. So, nakay 25% na probability nga mabagsak. So, ana ra siya, minusan lang nimo siya og minus lang nimo sa 1. Consider the empty set, this one, any event A and B, then, of course, the probability of an empty set is 0. Okay? The probability of A minus B is equivalent to this one. So the probability of A minus the probability of A intersection B. If A is a subset of B, then of course, ang probability of A should be less than the probability of B kay subset raman siya ni A. Okay? For any event A and B, if they are not mutually exclusive, meaning both pwede mag-occur no, at the same event at the same time, so kani ang anto ang gamito na formula. Okay? So this one is for non-mutually exclusive. And this one is for mutually exclusive. Again, mutually exclusive are those events that cannot happen at the same time. And then non-mutually exclusive are those events that could happen at the same time. Okay? So example. We have here an example. So here is our example. Suppose a student is selected at random from 100 students, where 30 are taking mathematics, 20 are taking chemistry, 10 are taking mathematics and chemistry. Find the probability P that the student is taking mathematics or chemistry. Okay, so now let's find our sample space. So here our sample space is what? Katong 100 ka student. Okay? Selected at random from 100 student. Okay, so okay, so our sample spaces are okay, so 100 atong sample space. Now let us consider this kani sila as an event. So let event A be those students na taking mathematics. Now let event B be those students taking chemistry, and let event C, then on C, wherein both are taking math and chem. Okay, so ang atong pangitawan is the probability that the student is taking mathematics or chemistry. So, unsa man ni? So this is a probability of A union B. Diba? Sakto ba ko? Okay. Again, katong kaganina, no? Katong first na kong lecture video, union is like or, and then intersection is like and. And since we find it here or chemistry, so this is actually the union of two event A and B. Now, since we have a sample space, so Rn, a sample space is equals to 100. Rn of A is pila man? 30. Rn of B is 20, and our NFC or math and chemistry man ni siya, no? Math and chemistry. So math and chemistry. So this is actually not event C. This is, again, balik ko na to tong kaganina, di lagi ni ma-erase. So balik ko na to tong kaganina, katong kung end, it is actually an intersection. So this is basically A intersection B. So Rn A intersection B is equivalent to pila? 10. Okay? So, ang ato daw pangitawon is find the probability P. Kani. So, this is our unknown. So, kung mobalik ta sa katong ato ang theorem, no, kaganina, let us find out if this is mutually exclusive or not. Mutually exclusive are those events that could happen at the same time, and A non-mutually exclusive mutually exclusive are those events that could not happen at the same time. And non-mutually exclusive are those events that could happen at the same time. And as you can see here, this event could happen at the same time because a student can take math, no? Pwede sad siya mo take og chemistry. No, wala may nag-ingon niya kung mo-take kag math, di ka dapat mo-take og chemistry. So, pwede sa isa ka student na siya math niya, napod siya chemistry. So, in that case, kani nga formula ang atong gamiton. Kaning nasa, unsa man? Kaning nasa ubos. This is non-mutually exclusive man. Okay? So, kanang formula sa ubos ang atong gamiton. Itatag hayag-hayag nga color, orange. But first, let us find our probability of A. So probability of A is equivalent to the number of A and the number of S, which is 30 over 100. Okay, our probability of B is equal to the probability of B over number of S, which is 20 over 100. Okay, so this could be 3 over 10, and this could be 1 over 5 atong lowest term. Now, this one, the probability sa kaning last, so the probability of A intersection B could be the number of A intersection B over N of S, which is equivalent to 10 over 100, which is 1 over 10. Okay. So, atong ipang-highlight para ma-remember. PB 15. Okay. Now, nakuha naman nato, no? So, gamit ta ani nga formula. This one, because this is non-mutually exclusive. Again, non-mutually exclusive meaning they could happen at the same time. So, meaning there could be students that could take math and chemistry at the same time. So, P, A union B is just equivalent to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A intersection B. Sakto ba ko? Yes. So this is basically probability of A is 3 over 10 plus 1 over 5 minus 1 over 10. Okay. So kung ato ni siyang isolve, this becomes 10 na 3 plus 2. Sakto ba ko? So this becomes 5. This becomes minus 1 over 10. So this is equivalent to 5 over 10 minus 1 over 10. So 5 over 10 is, this becomes 1 minus 5 minus 1 is 4 over 10, or pila man ni 2/5. So the probability of A union B is equivalent to 2/5. Okay, so that concludes our example. So kung na may questions, please contact me, ask me through Messenger. So that is all for this lecture video. And the next lecture video will be talking about conditional probability. Okay, so that will be all, and thank